What's up, guys? It's Chris. Today I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about toolboxes. Lately in my games, I'll see 2 to 3 strong toolboxes with either brand new parts or the wire spools, and obviously some gen perks on top of that. And while I'm not trying to just sit here complaining about stuff, I do think some of this stuff is getting a little bit out of hand. Yesterday, to prove a point, me and my friend went in with some homies from the stream and brought 4 toolboxes with some gen perks. And we did 6 gens in 3.5 minutes. Yeah, 6 generators. Also, I want you to keep in mind that this killer was running deadlock, which bought him a decent amount of time where we could not complete the gen with the most progress. And I don't know about you guys, but the fact that this is even possible in the game is a little bit insane to me. Now, I want to let you guys see this full game and how it played out and how quickly we actually ended up doing these gens while I talk, because it is just insane the stuff that you can actually do in this game. And people do it often. This isn't like really super rare. I'm seeing tons of people bringing toolboxes, sometimes 4, which is how we ended up losing the Ghostface streak the last time. It's ridiculous. Look how fast we do this first gen. If you paid attention, 2 of us on this one gen did it in 20 seconds, and we had another gen right next to us already done, which means by the time this killer found any of us, if he didn't have deadlock, he is at 3 gens by the time he spawned into the match. I think that is absolutely ridiculous, and the fact that you can and survivors do this is just disgusting. Now, can a perk like Corrupt help with this? Yes, but a requirement for a killer to bring Corrupt every game while survivors are getting base kit borrowed time, base kit deliverance, a HUD, and all this other little stuff to help them out. I just don't think it's right to say killers are forced to bring this perk if they want a chance against this stuff. Maybe we should address the toolboxes or give the killers a little bit of something, you know, slower gens before the killer hits the first person or something like that. I don't know, just something. Because whether you main killer or survivor, I think it's fair to say doing 7 of the generators in 3.5 minutes is just ridiculous. I say 7 because while we did fully complete 6 at the end, the 7th one was almost done. We were on all 3 generators at the end of the game here, which you'll see. And I just think that is insane. I also want to point out that this game wasn't even maximum efficiency by us. If you see me kind of running around here, messing around, not really on a gen for a lot of the chunk of the time, even though I can see the auras of them, I'm just kind of walking around and stuff. If we were max efficiency, I think we could have got this to 3 minutes or below. Without deadlock, for sure we could have got it under 3 minutes. And now, putting that insane number aside, just the fact that survivors can bring this in and spawn into the game with 3 generators left to complete, I think is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. So I wanted to go over what I think behavior could do about this outside of just outright removing gen speed toolboxes, which I doubt they would do because they do want item variety and stuff. Do I think they're way too much of a freebie if we want this game to actually be competitive, which I don't think they do. I think they do still want it to be a fun game. They should be gone. Yeah, if this is supposed to be a competitive game, these should not exist. They are way too mindless, just free gen speed for holding right click instead of left click. I don't really get what they're getting rewarded for. But what I think they could do, base kit Corrupt for 60 seconds, maybe leave Corrupt as it is, make it add 2 minutes onto the timer. I don't know, because it can still go away once you down somebody, right? So it's not that big of a deal. They could also make it so the gens are slower at the start before the killer gets a hit or a down instead. So say the gens will be done 50% slower until the killer hits somebody so that they can't spawn into the game and have 2 gens pop before they can find somebody. Another point we could bring up is just how many gen speed perks there are now in the game in combination with these toolboxes. Maybe we just make it so if you're using a toolbox, these perks just outright can't activate. You have to be just doing a gen without a toolbox, holding left click instead, which would still significantly increase the gen speeds. Don't get me wrong, but at least they can't be stacking stuff like, you know, Streetwise, Hyper Focus, Stakeout, Deja Vu, Prove Thyself, friendly competition. I mean, the list goes on and on. I think it is absolutely ridiculous the state of the game right now. And while the gen speeds aren't as insane as when DBD first started, the Moris from when the game first came out also don't exist anymore, so killers can't just outright kill the first person they down. And I am absolutely not saying we need to bring back the old Moris at all. I'm just comparing them to how ridiculous this gen speed is And that's kind of what it was like at the start of DBD. And they're still in the game, and they're adding more gen speed. I mean, bro, overzealous, right? This new scavenger perk. It's crazy the stuff they're adding, and you could just stack them and stack them and stack them. Everybody can bring this stuff, and there's no limiter to any of this stuff. No limiting the toolboxes. They're just giving cheaper blood webs, so there's unlimited brand new parts and toolboxes and wire spools and scraps. And yeah, anyway, this is getting a little bit ranty, and I can't help it because I do love this game, and I think the fact that we can even do this is super unhealthy for it, because it gets to a point where it's almost cheating, the stuff that you could bring in. You know, obviously they wanted to implement something called skill-based matchmaking, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't see a single thing skill-based about what we did in this match, not one. We just did gens really quick because of freebies in the game that stack completely together for no reason. And all four of us had at least one wasted perk slot in this match. A slot where we could have put Sprint Burst, Lithe, Adrenaline, Unbreakable, Off the Record, something like that if we wanted to. All of us just had one perk that was pretty much useless. Like, I put on Quick Gambit, which I thought would be nice. The killer didn't chase me after the first 5 seconds. You know what I mean? So, and I don't want to go down the path of talking about how mindless stuff like Sprint Burst and Lithe and Unbreakable and stuff like that are. They are complete freebies, but that's not the point of this video. I'm saying survivors can and do bring in these insane gen speed things. And they also have these perks that I was just talking about, these second chances, these freebie exhaustion perks that they don't have to think about at all. While playing a killer like the Singularity right now requires a lot more thought, and you have to figure out exactly the right play, on top of the fact how mindless the counterplay for the EMPs are. Bring in these toolboxes, bring in these gen speed perks, bring in some sprint burst. It's a lot right now. So while I do also see a lot of people saying how the Singularity is kind of weak right now, which I disagree with, I think it's more that the state of the game is so gen speed heavy. There are so many things that survivors can do to speed up the game that it kind of makes you limited on the stuff you can do if you're really looking to 4K. Because I do just want to say, as a killer, I've played thousands and thousands of hours, and you know, I'm not saying I'm the greatest killer to ever play the game, but I could really easily evaluate how fast a team will be able to do a gen before recently, you know, the past like 6 months or so. Now I have no idea how fast gens are going to pop. Not a single clue. And while it's fine if behavior wants perk variety, different ways survivors can speed up the gens and different things they have to think about, I think we really do have to look at the complete freebie side of toolboxes. They're not committing a perk slot, right? So they're still able to bring in the Sprint Burst, the Adrenaline, Unbreakable, which I was talking about before, but they can just add an insane amount of gen speed, reducing gen time by over 20 seconds, up to like 30, I think, with brand new parts and stuff like that. I think it's just too much. But that's kind of my thoughts on the state of the game right now. I do love Dead by Daylight. I still really enjoy it. But, you know, it's just when I think about the idea of skill-based matchmaking and I see stuff like this, which takes, let's face it, absolutely zero skill whatsoever, on top of stuff like made for this. Anyway, I don't want to go into all the survivor perks right now. I want to stick to toolboxes. I really do want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. If you guys have seen stuff like this in your games, if you think it's problematic. I think it's impossible to not see a slight problem with the fact that we did 7 gens in 3.5 minutes. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. I'm going to read every single comment and respond to all of them. I really want to have this conversation about what you guys think and what behavior could do to address this if you do see the problem. Anyway, you guys are awesome, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.